Thank you very much. So you can hear me already. Yeah, my name is Alexander from OpenForests. Basically, we're moving into becoming Explorer.land, which is a map-based project presentation and transparency platform for forestry projects and restoration projects. So today, I will do a demonstration of the platform, but also bring in two challenges. So we need more transparency in that space. That's in the restoration space. And the other challenge is that we have to communicate in a more diverse, more comprehensive way about projects on a communication level, but also on a data level. So this is how it currently looks often in the market. There are a lot of problems because of that. To improve that, some certification have evolved like Vera, Gold Standard, Plan Vivo, but they only provide an indirect transparency. This still had led to several scams and problems in the market which could severely damage the reputation of the entire market. So what we need to do, we have to be more transparent. So we have to be full transparent. So this is why we really want to promote a kind of full transparency within that space. So that's the first challenge. How do we get transparency in the space of nature restoration, which is very complex, which have multi dimensions? Second challenge, the communication around these projects is very narrow. So usually it's about counting carbon credits or tree trees, tree numbers which have been planted, like tree counters. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. So a diverse restoration project is much more. The full story has many components, and we need to really tell all of them. But how to get this all together? So how to make projects transparent, likewise diverse in communication, and comprehensive in terms of tracking them. And we think that a map is a very nice canvas, like a storytelling canvas, that on the one side can connect the stories, so the emotional parts, the inspiration, with data. So it basically ground truth the story in space and time. And this has the potential to create this kind of full transparency. We have started to develop Explorer.land 3 years ago. It was like a side project, what we bootstrapped from our information consulting business, where we know what we have been done now for 12 years, but now going full into this platform development. At the moment, the platform hosts around 700 projects in the restoration space. It acts as a search engine and tool to analyze the global market of restoration projects. It has the capabilities to integrate this emotional side, the stories what I showed. So hopefully we can see a quick animation of it. So this is in Brazil. It shows some restoration corridors in a landscape, so where you have agriculture and natural spaces, and they're trying to rewild these restoration spaces. And yeah, one nice result that has been found, that they visited wild cats walking through these corridors. So basically the work that has been done has been to some extent successful, and you can prove that with a story on top of a map. So this is just the communication part. But in order to show that there's really an impact and do it through visual terms, there's a possibility to integrate drone imagery, high-resolution, ultra-high-resolution drone imagery that helps to see. So if you as a funder give money to a restoration project, first of all, there might be bare land, but maybe coming back like 2 years later, you will see that trees have been growing. So this is another visual evidence how you can show the progress of a project. So let's wait a second to see how high the resolution can be. So this is a good evidence. If you have been successful, you can see trees. If not, you will not see trees. But we can get a little bit more sophisticated. So with the platform, we enable also to integrate other data layers like open source data layers, or really data layers from specialized companies who are experts in monitoring mangroves or whatever. This is just an example where we show in 3D, also in the platform, how, for example, a simple tree forest cover loss could help to tell a story with more evidence. So you see the data layer really corresponds nicely with the satellite image on the ground here. But we can go even a step further. So these were the data sets, but we now can query these data sets against an area, against a polygon. This is just an example of how that can be done in terms of fire alerts, which are sent live on a 24-hour level from NASA. So they're pulled in the system and then could be queried against an area, a location. So summarizing all of it, in order to scale forest landscape restoration, we have to cater the full cycle. So we need to help to expose projects so that they can be found, searched, and analyzed. Then we have to present them in a way that they inspire people to say, okay, that's really something interesting. This is amazing. I want to support that. I found it fascinating to see a jaguar going along these corridors again and connecting these biodiversity areas. We need to inspire people to fund them, but then you have to prove success. So it's important to have like a very rigorous monitoring from different perspectives, with geolocated news posts, with drone imagery, with satellite imagery, with data, and so on. And then the success needs to be shared also through a beautiful map, through a story on top of a canvas in space and time. And if we can close this cycle, we could create, I believe, confidence in this restoration space, which is complex, yes, but I think we have all the technology and data at hand to do a monitoring and access the complexity. So if not now, when then? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.